Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 18, Melody versus Marceau, Round 5. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. Let's talk about this episode, y'all. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, hop in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. But myself, in this household, we are sick of hearing about the expo. I am tired of hearing about the expo. Why is it that we are the third episode into the second half of the season and we are still talking about this expo that aired months ago? And I get that it's very real time for them, but this is ridiculous, Carlos. This is ridiculous, Carlos. But let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. So we're still at Tiffany's Sip and See. Now I missed last week's episode because I was out, but at Tiffany's Sip and See, nothing was organized, not organized, but they were late. So when Tiffany got there, when Stormy got there, when all the ladies were coming in, they were still setting up, getting the balloons out the bags and everything like that. So we're still at the Sip and See. They are finally about to get started. We see Tisha come in. Tisha's late. Everybody's like, oh, I didn't know Tisha was coming. Y'all were waiting on her to come. Y'all saw Tisha's name on the call sheet. So it's only like 8 people there. So I don't know why Tiffany didn't just have this at the house. There are literally like 8 people there. You could have did this at the house. You just needed a scene to film. So they have a pastor come out. The pastor prays over the baby. He's crying. He's hungry. So while they were going to present him to everybody, they're going to let him eat, and then everybody else is going to eat. So they're sitting down at the table, and it's extremely awkward. Tisha, spoke to everybody. Stormy gave her a very, kind of cold hug. I don't like Stormy. I don't like Stormy, and I feel it's because Stormy still has not found her place on this show. So Stormy, I feel like she doesn't know who she wants to be friends with. She doesn't know who she wants to beef with. It's almost like Stormy is on social media, seeing what people are saying about her, and then trying to react the complete opposite of it. It's just not coming across genuine. So Tisha's in her interview, and she's saying that, Stormy is acting kind of funny because I talked to her on the phone after the blow up at the restaurant, and we were good. We were laughing and talking. So now, I don't get why she's acting this way towards me. So they're eating. It's awkward. It's tense. It's quiet. And Tisha's like, why is everybody so quiet? Mel looked like she about to fall asleep. Like, were y'all quiet like this before? Nobody says anything. Nell was like, no, we was talking. Nell's like, no, we were talking. And Kimmy said we were actually talking about the expo. Tisha's over it. I had Tisha's reaction too. Y'all just had a powwow about the expo when it was like the 4 of y'all and Tisha stormed out. So Kimmy feels that they all need to sit around and talk so that they can give proper feedback. Tisha says she don't want no feedback. They then go and talk about the issue with Nell not being invited. She said that Tisha said they didn't think to call and invite people. It was posted on social media. On one hand, if an event is posted on social media, if you want to be a part of it, call and say, hey, we saw that y'all were having an event. Y'all are having this expo. We would love to be a part of it. Fletcher does real estate. I have a daycare. We can speak about people in real estate. We can speak about people wanting to start their own business or start their own daycare. On the flip side, just because the people that are having an event does not mean that they are obligated to invite you to participate in it. Where is this audacity coming from? From Tiffany, from Fletcher, from Nell? Where is the audacity? Just because somebody is throwing an event does not mean you are obligated to be there. They don't have to call and invite you to anything. You weren't invited. Take it with a grain of salt and move on. It's not that big of a deal. It is truly not that big of a deal. If you are a staple in North Huntsville, like you have said for the past 20 to 30 years, people know about you. Nell is working my nerves about this girl. It's giving you want a storyline, you want to be on the show, and you are trying to get on the show the best way that you can. And this is not the proper way to do this, Nell. So Nell then said that Tisha's energy is off and different from what it was at the dinner. It's going to be off and different because it went from being her having someone in her corner, Marceau, going against Shaw in a more conversational tone. This is feeling like an ambush once again. Her energy is going to be off. So Tisha said her energy is the same. Tisha is not, and you know it's not. So Tisha said the expo is over, and if anybody wants to have one, go ahead. And that was me. Y'all don't like the way I did the expo? Have your own. I'll come and support, and maybe I can get tips and pointers from you on what I could have done differently. So Tisha feels that feedback isn't coming from a good place, so she doesn't want it. Kimmy is like, well, feedback is good. Tisha don't want it. If she don't want feedback, don't give her ass no feedback. One thing that people have to understand is that just because you want to give somebody feedback does not mean that that person has to receive it. Far too often, people give unsolicited feedback. And it is like the way that they are doing this with Nell, it is coming from a negative place. Feedback is not, you didn't invite me. That's not feedback. Feedback is, you know what, Tisha, y'all needed to have everybody maybe put in groups. Next time, have all the different, child service providers or stuff like that in one area. Put mental health in this area. Put things that involve accounting over here. Put these, people that are actually selling products. Put this here. Put health and beauty all together. That's giving feedback. Saying you didn't invite me is not feedback. That's not feedback. It's not. Feedback is Stormy saying, y'all should have told us up front that we needed to pay $100. Next time, don't approach me while I'm setting up my booth. Do it in a more professional way. That is feedback. That is feedback. Lord have mercy. So Tiffany is over there with her parents, I think her mom and Lewis's mom, and has the audacity, the nerve, the temerity, the gall to say, I don't know why they would talk about this right here. Tiffany, how many times have they been at some type of event and you have used it to be messy as well? Shut up. Why is Tiffany still on the show? How is Tiffany still on the show? So Tiffany comes over. They're all done eating. And Tiffany said that there should be another expo and then she can keep the front row warm again. Again, this is not feedback. Tiffany, you being 9.5 months pregnant and not being asked to speak is not feedback. That's not feedback. It's you bitching because I didn't get picked. Pick me. I have a business. Pick me. That's what you and Nell are doing. It's not constructive feedback, though. So Tiffany brings up the whole $100 thing. Nell is being messy now, asking what was it about money? What's going on about money? She's asking Stormy. Stormy is not saying anything. Stormy is looking to Tisha to see if she says, I don't know why Stormy is scared to talk about it now. You were talking about the money and stuff before when Tisha got there. That's what I mean about Stormy. Stormy is a flip-flopper. She doesn't know if everybody's jumping on Tisha. I don't know if I should jump in too. Or is it because certain people are around? Stormy is kind of weird, yo. So Tiffany shouldn't have even brought it up because now it has become a whole big thing about money again. So Stormy is explaining Marceau came up to her asking for the money. While this is going on, Tisha gets up and walks away. Stormy goes and brings her back. The way that Tisha needs to handle this whole Stormy with the $100 thing is, Marceau walked up to Stormy, asked for $100. I didn't know he was going to do that. I told him he should not do that. I talked to him about it afterwards. It has been handled. Stormy, I'm sorry that this is how this went for you. That is literally all Tisha has to say to shut it down. Tisha got all the book smarts in the world, but dumb as a box of rocks when it comes to common sense. It makes me question their business acumen because, wow. So Timmy suggests, I'm sorry, okay, wait. So before that, Nell said that Tisha said that at the dinner that nobody paid. Tisha said no. I said we didn't make any money from the event. Tisha said, and it's really nobody's business what happens with the money. Truth be told, it's not. But like Kimmy said, while it's not Tisha's responsibility to open the books, if there are people that are asking this many questions, right? Certain people paid, other people didn't. I would like to know where the money went as well if I'm somebody that paid $100. If I paid $100 from my booth, what was this? Was it a service fee? Did it go to help offset costs because this was free to the community? Are we paying for sponsors? Like, what exactly did I pay for? I'm never paying $100 to just come speak somewhere and there's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't quite understand that. That doesn't make sense. Kimmy suggests they have a town hall where everybody can openly discuss the event. Tisha says she's not against that, but she would like to talk to Marceau about it first. What should have happened is instead of having all these separate meetings about it, it should have been everybody that was involved. Tiffany, your ass has absolutely zero reason to be there. But it should have been everybody that was involved. So the five members of the comeback group, you couple in Stormy and her husband because Stormy spoke at it. Y'all sit down and discuss how you felt the event went. Kimmy can give her feedback in a more open, respectful manner, and Tisha can respond back. Stormy can give her feedback in a more constructive, open, respectful manner. And then Marceau and Tisha can all talk about that all at once. There's no need to talk about it with Tiffany, Nell, or Melody because none of them were involved in it. None of them. So Stormy then said that her issue is only with Marceau. She said Marceau was acting like a woman talking to her about some money. Y'all see how Melody wanted to laugh? Melody wanted to laugh. So Melody brings up, I have an issue with what Nell told me, when Tisha, you and Marceau went out with the Fletchers. Melody said that she just wants to know that, right now she is good with Tisha. And because she's good with Tisha, she's going to separate the two. She wants to talk to Marceau because now how is it supposed to work if me and you are in a good place, Tisha, and we're trying to move past all the bull and the dark souls and all the other stuff we said about each other? How are we going to move forward when your husband keeps my name in his mouth talking cash shit, for lack of a better phrase? You know what I mean? Tisha said, well, Marceau is a grown man. He can speak for himself. And Melody said, cool. All Melody wanted was for Tisha to be like, I'm going to stay out of it. And once Tisha said that, Melody is on go. And now I can proceed with how I want to proceed with it. Stormy keeps saying, yo, man, he acted like a lady. He acted like a woman. He acted like a lady. And Stormy kept repeating it over and over and over because she wanted a reaction out of Tisha. She wanted Tisha to kind of get loud and do all the other stuff because then she says, yeah, he be acting like a bitch. Like he want to put on a dress and, be sitting here with us. Stormy was trying to antagonize Tisha, and I'm glad that Tisha didn't take the bait with that. Because that's basically what Stormy was trying to do. She's trying to bait Tisha into an argument unnecessarily. If your issue is with Marceau and it's regarding that money, specifically and solely, take that up with Marceau, with your husband. But your husband already talked to Marceau about that. So the fact that Stormy keeps rehashing this over and over and over again is annoying. You paid the $100. You're upset you had to pay the $100. Don't go to shit else that they throw. It's very simple. Very simple stuff here. We then get a scene with Kimmy and Maurice. Remember, they are renovating this space that they are going to rent out for office space at the bottom. And then at the top is going to be both of their businesses. Kimmy is a broker, and Maurice is he fixes people's credit. While being a lawyer, I guess he has a law degree. He has a law degree. So they're looking at the space. They have a brother, Micah, who's supposed to be renovating it. It's not going to be done in the time allotted. He's like, because of my very intelligent, smart, genius mind. I said, that's how you know a nigga's lying, okay? That's how you know he bullshitting you. I said, so they whole family just full of swindlers. All right. So they bring up, Kimmy brings up the expo to Maurice. She said, we're still talking about the money. I'm with Maurice. Why are we still talking about this? Kimmy tells Maurice that Marceau told the Fletchers that nobody paid anything and that Marceau feels that him and Tisha paid for everything out of their pockets. Maurice is like, well, I need to talk to him because we were out at Black and I gave him $100 cash. So it then goes on to this conversation where Kimmy feels that Maurice or Marceau does not respect Melody for selling t-shirts. Maurice laughs a little too hard, I might add. And Kimmy is like, don't laugh, because you laughing and encouraging him to say the type of stuff is the reason we have the issues that we have now within the group, which is true. But see, Maurice laughed because Maurice felt the same way. Maurice laughs because Maurice feels the exact same way. The fact that Melody and Martell are no longer married and no longer have their businesses together, Maurice and Marceau feel that they are now beneath them because they're the ones that are doing real estate and they're not doing it anymore. That's what the real issue is. So we get to Melody going to Nell's daycare. Nell asked Mel what she thought about the event. Melody said that it was great and the food was good. I'm sick of hearing about the expo. I'm gonna put it in every segment because I'm sick of hearing about the damn expo. I'm sick of Nell talking about this expo. Miss Lady Ma'am, you are not that upset that you weren't there. You just aren't. If you wanted to be there that bad, y'all would have called and said, hey y'all, did y'all want us to come speak or something about it? So they then get into a conversation about how Tisha owns 85% of the company, but doesn't really know, I guess, what's going on with a lot of the businesses. Melody said that when her and Martell were married and they had their companies, they were a 50-50 split. Because they were a 50-50 split, she knew everything that was going on in that company. But there are different business grants and opportunities that you get by being a woman-owned company. So that's why Tisha owns 85% of the company, but by name and face only for the tax breaks, the opportunities that come, the grants, all of that type of stuff. If that's how they want to do it, Tisha's the fool for allowing that when your husband is not allowing you to really have a say-so, or he keeps you in the dark about the company altogether. Nell thinks that they made a bunch of money and they just don't want to tell people about it. Melody thinks that they didn't make a lot of money at all and they just want everybody to think that they did. And that's why they're being very tight-lipped about it. It could go either way. If we're being realistic, if they only charged 100 people $100 to certain people, I don't think they made a lot of money. I think that they made enough money to be enough money, but they want to make it seem as if it was overly successful. So they're going to act as if they made a bunch of money about it. Point blank, period. We get Kiki at home with her husband. He's making dinner. Kiki says she missed the sipping seat because she was in pain, she was hurt, she was sick, whatever the case. We don't know what the issue is that Kiki has. Kiki said the doctors don't know. Her husband tells her, you're not being healthy. You have digestive issues. You sitting here eating all the shrimp fried rice and wontons and crab ragoon that you could possibly eat at 10 o'clock at night. On top of the fact you're on methadone. So, her husband is saying all these different things about what he thinks should and should not be happening. And Kiki's response is, you're berating me. I truly don't care. Truly don't care. Because if you are having digestive issues, heartburn, whatever the case, you're going to a cardiologist, you're going to she said gastrologist, you're going to all these different doctors. Why would you be sitting up at 10 o'clock at night eating Chinese food, which we all know is very high in sodium? And then the final scene is Melody meeting up with Marcel. So Melody tells him, I came in and I made the conscious decision to be positive. She gets right into what Nell told her. In Marceau's defense, Marceau did not say Melody's name. When he said t-shirt businesses, he could have been talking about other people that signed up that do e-commerce or sell t-shirt businesses. But it is very asinine to say you will not pay somebody to speak about their t-shirt business when e-commerce is huge. E-commerce is knocking big box stores out of the park right now. All over the country, we are seeing stores brick and mortar close. Bed Bath and Beyond, brick and mortars close exclusively online, aka e-commerce. Amazon is huge. Wayfair, Temu, eBay, all these other online websites, ASOS, List. Like, it's so many that people go to shop. Shein, Boohoo, Pretty Little Things, Fashion Nova. People are going to buy that stuff as opposed to going into a brick and mortar store. On top of the fact it's just stupid. There are so many successful t-shirt companies. There are so many. I'm wearing God is Dope right now. This is an e-commerce brand. You go online and you get it. You see God is Dope t-shirts and hoodies everywhere, constantly. It's a successful e-commerce business. Marcel said he doesn't respect e-commerce business. He doesn't have a high opinion of it. Melody laughs and said, but you work in e-commerce. And he said, yeah, and I don't have a high opinion of it. He doesn't respect it. He's in it just for the money. So you don't respect something that makes a lot of money? Please make it make sense, Marcel Scott. We have to use our thinker. Let's put our thinking cap on here, sir. That doesn't make sense. So Melody feels that Marcel is trying to downplay her business. She starts to fix her eyelash. He tells her not to cry. She said, I'm not crying over you, Marcel, and neither will Tisha when Tisha leaves your ass. So Marcel says, why do you want her to leave me? Why do you want my kids to have go up in a single parent household? I thought he was going to say like yours, and I was going to say, whoa. When Melody said that Marcel does not want Tisha to be friends with Melody because Melody is a very independent woman, she is very business minded, she is intelligent, she knows how to go out and get what she needs to get stuff done and network. Marcel does not want Tisha to do that. He wants Tisha to be dependent on him. He wants Tisha to be solely dependent on him. So I think that's why Marcel likes to keep discord sown between Melody and Tisha. He doesn't want them to ever be friends like that. We saw the flashbacks from, what was that, season 1, when Melody took Tisha out and introduced her to all these people. Marcel doesn't want that. And then we see next episode, he says that all Melody does is start new businesses to throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. I mean... Melody did have a skincare. She sells the t-shirts. I think Melody also sells master classes. I'm not going to pretend like I know everything Melody does. But above all, y'all are both sitting on the same reality show. You're no better than she is. You're no better than she is. Hey, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. If you have not already, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.